Hey, what's up, guys? It's Joshua Sum. We're back on a new episode here. Um, Sorry for any delays for anyone that's watching live here. There were some issues with my mic that I was trying to fix, and for some reason it just wasn't working. So got it to work, tested everything, and I should be good to go. So for those who are watching, if there are any technical difficulties during the stream, just let me know, and I can try to fix that as we go. So this is the part 4 of this series for Howl's Moving Castle. The particular cue is called A Walk in the Skies, and I'm really excited to get this going. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and normally I would stream on Thursdays. Today's Wednesday, so I'm just doing it a day early so I can just get ready for the holiday weekend and enjoy the weekend during that time. But this is a project that's near and dear to me because it's one of my favorite projects, and I just wanted to try to transcribe this and get this out into the world. So let's go and get started, shall we? First off, we have this cue here that I mocked up from last time, and for those who just are joining in and haven't really seen the other episodes, I just want to recap. I spent the last two episodes, or the first two episodes, I should say, to transcribe this into Dorico. So I used a pre-existing transcription, but then I found there are a lot of mistakes, and so I basically revamped the notes and got all the chords and whatnot figured out. So I got that done. Looks like this actually. Um, Let me get that pulled up here. So there's that, and you can see how there's a lot of strings in the beginning with the pizzicatos, and then as it goes, it gets busier and busier. Um, One thing I've noticed, my computer's acting a little bit strange. just uh, just so you know. So when I it's the weirdest thing when I go into something else, my Cubase just disappears. This just happened today. Let's see what happens right now because this just happened a second ago. I think I have some kind of weird workspace thing. Ah, that's why. So I have this desktop 1, desktop 2. Um, I'm not sure how that works in Windows, but I somehow got that put into a different spot. Anyways, so there is that. What we'll do then is we're going to go ahead and press play and start where we left off. Okay, so that's where we left off from last time. So the big one is going to be figuring out this glissando thing in the harps. Um, and as we do this, we may tweak a few things from that first half. One thing I do want to say is from here to here I haven't, so this, when I say from here to here, I say I mean 51 to about 66. For these measures I haven't really touched it too much. And in addition, I don't have everything else, so if I were to play this part, so I don't have that part loaded in just yet for my MIDI, but I did finish the other half of those notes in the Dorico transcription, so that is ready to go. Um, so I'll put that in as well. Let's maybe jump into that harp glissando. All right, so right over here, all of this is nice. I mean, it's not it'll work, but I think I can do a better harp transition. So what I'll do is I'm gonna mute all of that. Let's see, and let's actually, instead of putting in the same one, I'm just gonna make a new version. Maybe duplicate that and call this version 1.04. Okay, so we have something there. I can delete that. All right, so let's go and listen to the original if we can and see how that sounds. All right, and just so you know, I put some filtering in here. Reason being, my videos are getting blocked for this series, and I have to go and unblock it. So I'm trying to think of ways that maybe we'll get it less detected, just so that I don't have to deal with always disputing it and appealing it or whatever. So, anyways, here is the harp transition or gliss. It's cool. Let me play it one more time. Okay, so there's some really cool harp stuff going on, and I think there's actually two harps going on if I'm not wrong. So, what I'll do is let's play around with these two patches I have. But I'm gonna duplicate them just like that, and I'm not sure why there's sorry, I'm not even sure why there's anything here. Let's delete that. Okay, so the first part is when that first crash hits, we're gonna go down, and we're in the key of, it looks like D flat or C sharp, one of those. I'm gonna look at that through my score and follow along. Let's see here. Oops. Okay, so this is measure 45, right? Okay, so right here, looks like we're in a D flat or C sharp, whichever you want to see it. So I might have to go into this one, and let's go into the controls. Let's go into a preset. Oh, I guess we need to turn that on first, preset. And let's do major key. And let's put this in C sharp major. Okay, so the idea would be then, okay, let me also just make sure my volume is up here. All right, I'm gonna just boost that volume up so I can hear it better. Okay, so we're going low to high, high to low, something like this. Okay. All right, let's listen to that for a second and make sure that's correct. Okay. So let's double check here. We're in C sharp major pedal. The pedal's on. So we have C sharp, then we have E, or I should look at D sharp, then we have E. Is it E? Shouldn't it be E sharp, which would be F? But then F is here. So why is there an E natural? Let's put that in E sharp. Let's put this in F sharp. And I'm not sure if this is reading correctly. I put that down, and it should be like this. That is strange. I think there might be a bug in this patch if I'm not reading this correctly. Anywho, So we have that. So we got the C sharp, and then I think B should also be B sharp. Let's play that again. Okay. All right, cool. Let's try that glissando one more time and see how that sounds. Okay, that's a little bit of a better range. Okay, cool. So, speed-wise, it's a little fast, and I could probably stretch that a little bit so it fits better. So if I go like that. 1, 2, 3. Actually, let me think about that for a second. If this is in 2 bars, so we got 1. Oh, okay. So you know what? It's the opposite. So I need to go faster. So I'm shrinking it now, and by the time I get off of that last note, that should be kind of towards the end of that measure. So that's a little bit better. Okay. All right. So that's better. I think I could stretch that and just time it better. But with that, that's the first harp glissando. Okay. And you'll see here, like I'm not perfectly glissandoing that, so we can maybe add these 2 notes here and push that over just a little bit. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the first little thing. Next is it switches. So, and also this is pan to the left of the orchestra. And then what's interesting, there's another harp that's happening right after that. That's a little bit more fancy sounding. And this harp is in C. But let me actually also, before I forget, add that in. Another thing to consider is the release time. I like to shorten the release time of this patch. Okay. And also getting that a little peak note is important. So let's see here. And yeah, it's an A. That highest note, I'm not sure. Maybe let's do a G instead. So let's reach for the G here. And let's kind of fudge that over a little bit. Okay. Okay, cool. That makes more sense to me to do a G sharp instead of a at the end. Okay, so there is that. Then the idea would be to do something similar over here. Now, this one I'm just doing a little test run. We should do C major for this one because it goes back. It goes a semitone up and then goes back down. So let's just hear that. Okay, right? So that's the idea. So let's just do a better job of that now. I'm going to go here and delete that. Okay. Now that we have our pedal set to C, we'll just do kind of like a something like that. And let's just make sure that my release time isn't so long. Another thing maybe is because we're doing a lot of these low end stuff, we should probably put a little bit of a shelf so that the basses don't really come through too much. Okay. Okay, it's kind of hard to hear there. Let's put the volume up there and see. Okay, so that's like my pseudo fake harp glissando playing, but let's see if I can do a better job. And then I'm wondering if I should go octave higher. No, let's stay in that low C. So we go. And the highest note, maybe. Something like that. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so that is more or less the feel I'm going for, and I'm not trying to make this sound exactly like the transcription of the original recording, but just kind of get the essence of that with this harp and make it sound good somehow. So. Okay, so I don't know if I could do a better job of that. Let's give it a few more tries and we'll duplicate the version. I'm gonna call this 104B. All right, so let's try again. Let's go ahead and delete all these notes. Here we go. Okay, let's hear that in context. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, something like that. So if I could adjust that so that it stretches a little bit over, that might sound better like that. And kind of overlap that. Let's see. Okay, it's a little bit better. There's something funky about this, so let's see if I can make that better. Let's see. Yeah, so that's tricky. Let's see, I got this A right here, and that's random. Yeah, so it just needs to be smoothed out a little bit, and that might be possible here. Just thinking out loud how to do that, or the best way to go about it. Because there's definitely some notes missing in between this, so maybe I can bring this closer to the front. And then I could do like a little copy and go down like that. And let's make sure I don't do any sharp notes. Something like that. Okay, let's see if I'm missing any other spots. Looks like it sounded like I'm missing some notes in the beginning as well, so maybe we can push this over. It's not perfect, but this is just one way to do it. I'm going to explore a different option in just a second. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so this is kind of funky. Okay, maybe up to there. Okay, and there's something weird here. Let's see why. Maybe the C can go over and not be so loud. Cool. All right, and then let's just move all this over to the end and maybe change one of these. Cool. I think that's That's pretty close to where we want to be. Okay, so the other option, I have these glissando patches as well. And I'm just going to tweak this as we go, but glissando patches probably would be more ideal here. I'm just used to doing it the other way, but as far as this goes, I'm thinking this might be better, right? Something like that. So let's look at the ways to pitch that. So I'm not sure what key that's in. So I think, you know, this is just like a performance loop kind of trigger that I'm pressing. And honestly, I'm not sure what key that's in. It's probably going to be in C. Let's double check. It almost sounds like it's like in a whole tone scale or something. Let's see here. No, not a whole tone. Let's hear that one more time. I'm guessing it's in C. I think it's in C. So if that's in C, let's move this one in D flat or C sharp, whatever, and let's change that to semitone higher. So just go like that. This one looks like I can just keep in C. Okay, so from here, let's find one that's similar to that run through that I just replicated. So this one goes up. That goes up. So that might be good for like the way going at the starting point of it. And I should do a C actually, because I'm gonna go backwards. I'm gonna go from here like that, and I'm gonna try to copy what's happening there. So it's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be like ideal, but let's see what we can do. Okay, that already sounds better than what I had before. And that's just with the press of a button. So let's check now if we can go down. So going high to low. Okay, so this one actually has both. It has a low to high, high to low. You know what? I wonder if I can just do that. Okay, so let's put that in like so. And then it has to go back down, so it's going back down. So I gotta get one that's the opposite. I gotta go low to high, high to low. Well, actually, no, I think I can just do that twice, huh? So I can go. Let's see if I could do something like that. Oh, I think it just goes low to high on the second round. Yeah. Interesting. So let's find that real quick. That's a little too much. Oh, that's nice too. So there's a few options. Let's see if I can find one that goes low to high. Okay, so that's perfect. So I just need to do that over here somewhere like that and see. Okay. So that is kind of slow. Let's see if I can do that. So one of these have to give, unless there's a faster low to high. Okay, so F seems to be faster. So if we're to change that up a bit, I might be able to time this. Cool. Perfect. Let's bring up that volume on both of them actually. Okay, cool. So now let's hear the difference. Huh. Okay. So that would work. You can do something like that. And honestly, I could probably automate this so that volume really crescendos towards the end there, something like that. But as we're doing this, let's do another one over here. Oops, like that. And let's do that at the very start of this one. And this has to be kind of fairly quick. Let's see. Something like that. Let's try the G sharp. Oh, sorry. Let's mute this one. Cool. Yeah, that's great. So let's do something like this too, where we automate it. Right. Now, again, I'm not sure what scale this is playing for sure, 100%. So it sounds a little off to me. It's some kind of major scale. Let's double check here. Let's hear that again. It's major-y, major-ish. When I play it though, it just sounds a little different than what I'm expecting to hear. So let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna try a different approach. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like that better. That sounds much more along the lines where the recording is. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and then disable that, and we could keep that there. However, I don't want to have it show up, so I'm going to just put it in a different category. I think I have an archive type folder. Nope, I don't. So let's put this in a new folder. Let's call it archive. All right. Beautiful. All right, so that was a little bit of time. It's also to learn these patches or these sample libraries that I own, and when you do the same kind of stuff on your own, it's just really important to learn how your instruments behave. So now I'm kind of more familiar how to use the glissandos. That was my first time, so that was interesting to see and discover. Okay, so now the next step would be to just see if I can make this part sound better. So now we're at measure 40 or 50, 51. There's a little pickup right there, so 50, and then let's just go down by section. So I can highlight these folders. I'm gonna make these folders bigger so they're just more obvious, like so. Okay, So we'll go by down sections. Let's try just the easy one, the percussion. Okay, so this timpani can do a little crescendo. Let's try a crescendo. Let's try again. Okay. Sorry, just the sections. Okay, I'm not hearing a snare drum here. And I think this is a... Oh, hello. This should be a roll of some kind. So I'm just going to glue that together. We should maybe add an attack as well. Okay, so first thing is to find out if this is even turned on, and I'm guessing it's not. Well, we'll see. I guess the way to test is to play. Okay, so then if that's on, I just have to put it to the right notes. Okay, so I got that. And turn that back on actually. There we go. Now we can do some kind of automation on it. Okay. That's how it should sound. Just going off of memory. Okay. Oops. On this crescendo, decrescendo thing, let's try making it immediately respond down. So it's like a forte piano thing. Okay, great. Now we got to fix all this stuff. So this should go up here. Okay, and there's, oh yeah, there's these rules. Luckily, I don't really have to copy or do too much editing. I can just copy and paste this part. So let's go here, and we have boom, chuck, chuck, like that. And then the next one should be a little roll. So let's just put that in to there. And let's put a solid single note like that. Okay, we could probably bring the velocities down a little bit. Okay, I was making sure there's no duplicates underneath. Okay, so then I could go ahead and try that. And let's also just delete these. Okay. Let's hear it one more time. Okay. Now, this might be too much of a drop, so it might be better to go down in volume, so it's just a little more smooth. Yeah, okay. So we got that. Bass drum. Let's listen to bass drum if there's anything sounding there. There is. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's hear this. Okay, so let's make this all the same. I guess we'll do, yeah, compress to 0 and do that. That might be a little too much, but that might be better. Okay, let's hear that with the section again. Good. Okay. All right. So I think we're there in that regard. Snare drums should be pretty much the same pattern all the way till about the end of the actual big phrase or big section. Okay, we got some crash cymbals. Let's just double check here. I'm gonna look at the score, and as I'm looking along the score, you can see the score as well over here. I apologize. I should really figure this out, this desktop 1, desktop 2 thing, because it's gonna really throw me off. um, yeah, this is a Windows thing. It's kind of strange. So I'm gonna go to the measures that we're at right now, 51-ish. All right, and we'll just double check what we're doing here. So we have boom, chuck, chuck, boom, zzz, boom, chuck, chuck. So this, I'm looking at those measures and then going down. You can see all this. Okay, so let's look at what I was going back to with the percussion section is this part, the crash cymbal. So we got a crash cymbal just on that first beat of 51. Next page, we have nothing. Okay, so I think it's safe to say it's Piatti, and then I have a note here. This changes to suspended cymbal at 60 something, 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 66. I have a suspended cymbal, and then it probably goes to another crash on the next page right here. Yep. So we're good on that end. I think I might have fixed that before, but let's go to the other desktop. All right, there we go. And I have, I think, everything there. So I got crash. Oh, no, this is different. Let's go ahead and make that a orchestral cymbal roll. Okay, and let's fix that. Something like that. Let's do maybe a little louder. Okay, something like that for now. Also, it might help to bring up the velocity. Okay, we'll come back to that. We can delete this part. Okay, and there's 2 crashes happening, so I'm gonna have to figure out which one I'm gonna keep. We might be able to just get away with muting all of this out and seeing if we really need it or not. So let's just call these different versions. I'll call this one version 1.04, like that. Okay, and then this one, or what I should probably rename this 03. This is good practice when you are kind of going back and forth on versions. Right now I'm on version 1.04, as you can see on the top here. Let's see. Okay, so I think we got the percussion stuff down. Let's go to the string section. Okay, so this is where it gets a little weak sauce for me in terms of the samples, I feel. So that's why I have Vista turned on as well. Let's see if I think Vista might just have that better classical type of sound that we want. So if I were to move this over and not fully move it, just copy it, this might work pretty well. I'm gonna also recolor these. Yeah, let's recolor those. Let's hear the difference on this. Okay, so right now it's in a lower range, a lower octave. Okay, so let's listen to the original recording, which I have above. Okay, and let's turn off. I don't want to fully turn off these filters because they do weird stuff. But and when I say weird stuff, I mean YouTube block will detect that. So it's kind of I'm just doing what I can to see if we can not go detected this time and have to appeal to the copyright block and whatnot. I mean, I probably could get it off. It's just it's tedious. And anyways, so I'm hearing in the strings there might be a higher voicing there. Okay, let's listen to this. Actually, no. I think we're good. It's just louder, so there's more energy behind it, which is fine. So let's go ahead and change that up. Um, and this one I haven't performed it in, and I might not have to, but let's just see what we can do to keep all of uh, these notes together, and then change the modulation on it. Okay, so we definitely need it louder. That's one observation. I think I can do it all in one pass, to be honest. So let's see if we can go like this. Okay, here we go. Okay, cool. And I might as well add the MIDI stuff here as well as we're doing this, but I'm just kind of doing like a little pilot test run of how the string should sound. First observation is some of the timing is just like robotic, so I do probably need to pull some of these notes in, and as you can see, they're not connected, so that it probably doesn't engage the legato of Vista. So what I'll do, this is kind of dangerous, but let's kind of go by phrase like this. So it doesn't, we're not just doing a global change, and I'm gonna go ahead and quantize these like that. Sorry. Okay, and also I noticed that perhaps it's well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna have to edit in here. I was gonna do the offset milliseconds, but I think anytime there's a legato that starts to kick in, oops, I'm gonna have to just move these manually over. Okay, something like that. Let's move that a little shorter. Actually, I like it kind of like that. What can we do here? Let's go like this. And should we maybe move it over like that? Okay, that sounds more natural to me now, so okay, cool. We could probably bring up some of these velocities. Actually, let's test this out by bringing up the velocities of all the notes. Okay, sounds great. It could probably use a little more vibrato behind it. So, do I have vibrato sets? Let's see. I'm not sure with Vista if I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's just one. Let me double check before I say anything and shoot myself in the foot here. So let's find Vista. Okay, so one of these will do. Oh yeah, so there's legatos that it's not even turned on. So I gotta program that in, and I think that'll help. So let's go into these, and I think it's F or CC5. Oops, let's try it again. Okay, did that record anything? And maybe my controller's not working. Let's try this one over here. So it's that. Okay, so if I turn this on, okay, so that caught that. There we go. So I'm looking at over here, CC5. Let's turn this off. So CC5 is the, well, it says portamento, but it's actually legato for that Vista. And that should turn it on and off. Is that right? Let's see. Oh no, I have it set to a different one. 668. Shoot. Let's see here. Let's do. Okay. I'm gonna have to change that in my controller here, so bear with me. 68. I'm actually doing this on my hardware controller, so I'm finding 68. Almost there. 68. There's like a wheel that I have to turn. There we go. Okay, so if that's set, let's see if it works now. Aha, look at that. Okay, so the legato is on and off. So let's do that again, this time outside. Okay, so then that means all my vistas right here are legato, as you can see, legato. And we want that for this particular part. So okay, now it's probably going to behave a little different, as you can hear. Or maybe my ears are just fresh and it sounds a little rushed now. Anyways, the other thing is bringing up the volume a little bit here. So right now it's set to a certain CC data in the CC7. So we might as well bring that up as well. Like that. So now that should be globally set, I believe. So this one's kind of quiet. All right. Cool. Now, also another thing or trick I can do is just bring everything down a little bit. So like do like a global thing where I do that, and then I just set the volume down on everything just once, like that. And then that way I can retain some of this or bring it up and it pops out even more. Okay, let's press play from here. Cool. All right. Now with that balancing act, these little glissandos that I have are pretty quiet. So actually, before changing that, I'm gonna just do it in here. So I'm gonna move that up a few units, or whatever you want to call that, CC7 units. Okay. Also, the velocity should probably make it louder. I forgot about that. Cool. Even this, well, I guess it's all the way up, but might as well just bring this up a bit and see if that helps. Cool. Great. Yeah, I think the Vista strings already sound better. So putting that into the mix, let's just go and finish up the phrasing now. Okay, so from here, I'm going to delete all of that. And yeah, let's just re-record this in. So from here to here, I still have my merge of the strings a certain way, so I can do this all in one pass if I want to. And this is a good practice. Instead of going and highlighting all three, like let's say you make a mistake or undo something after you record, it goes away. So what I do is I actually do this instead. I arm it manually, and that way, in case you undo something, it'll stay set in that way. Okay, here we go. Oh, but I'm gonna unslope. Okay, cool. So we have some travel room, not much, to be honest. As you can see here, there's not much, and I don't think it really needs to swell. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. If it needs a little more dynamic contrast between these phrasings, we'll do it. But let's leave it as is. There was something funny happening here, as you can see. I'm actually changing my tempo a little bit, so when we vary that, it makes it sound more realistic. However, if you do it too much, like see the jump from 186 to 166, it's too much. So let's go ahead and change that to 180, something like that. Okay, so even that's a little too drastic. So let's go 184. Cool. Yeah, I like how it slows down because that really dramatic sizes or makes this part more dramatic. Okay, so we're making some strides. Let's just move over to the next part, which is the trumpets and horns, tuba. Okay, so that sounds a little funky to me. We could try legato-ing it. Let's see. And maybe that first note can be portato. Okay, sounds already better. As far as crescendos go, maybe like that. Something like that. Okay, let's hear it in context. Okay, all right, now let's listen to the brass by itself. Cool. Maybe the brass is, or the tuba is slightly loud, so bring that down. Okay. This part now could probably go down slightly, and I'm gonna do this in the velocities like that. Okay, that might be a little too much. So there's a big jump there, as you can see when I do that. Just even that much. So we're only talking like 4 value units here. So if I were to go back down, I could bring this up instead on everything. And it looks like I already have, but let's see. Maybe bring that up a little more. Okay, look over here. This is an unusual one. Active part. So this right here is a little bit funky to me, so I'm going to... Oh, yeah. And another thing I have to remember is I actually fixed some of this stuff. So this is actually gonna all go out the window. But this will be good practice for me. I have something down here. Okay, let's delete all these guys. All right. Okay. One thing I realize is these notes will be wrong. So let's fix that right now because that's gonna throw me off for the future. Shoot. What I'll do is I'm going to duplicate all of these versions from the brass. And then I'm going to rename these version 104. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to delete this. I think the tuba should be good. But from what I remember when I was going back through the Dorico notes and tweaking everything, this part has some wrong stuff, I believe. I could be wrong. But just to be on the safe side, let's redo that part. All right, so let's go ahead, without further ado, let's just introduce the next MIDI sections that are in here by probably, the easiest way is to do it in a new session perhaps. So that way all of this doesn't get all wonky here. And as I do this, I'm going to double check my MIDI tracks to see if they're all in the musical mode. It looks like they are. Okay. All right. So let's do that real quick. Let's put the MIDI file back in to, yeah, let's create a new project for this. And actually, before I do that, let's save just in case something crashes. Okay, so we have here our MIDI tracks. This is the newer one. And set project folder, it doesn't matter. Let's just put it in there. All right, cool. So then, let's do this quickly. Oops, like that. And I just noticed that all of these, I wonder if I could do this all in one go. No, I don't think I can. So starting from the English horn, I have to change the names here so that when I drag them over, they're retained like that. Okay. So this is kind of a tedious process, as you all may know. When there you go, when you're transferring MIDI data over, it's a little funky. Okay. I think we're okay there to just stretch it. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing this is I can glue them all together in one shortcut like that. Let's stretch that as well. Okay, so the next step would be, sorry, 1 second. Let's go from here actually. Do that again. Troop. So this is at measure 0, looks like. Okay, great. Delete that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of this and move it to my other section. And am I able to do that like this? Let's see. Like that. Okay. I'm going to move this over to, let's say, measure 200. And we're going to have to turn this back on. I'm actually surprised it didn't ask me if I wanted to activate it or not. It looks like it just activated it automatically. Okay, so give that a second to load back in. Great. Okay, so the safe way to do this, is to put all of those things into maybe here, just on this top divider line, and I'm just going to put it at measure 200, right there, 200, and let's find these guys and move them over here to 200. All right, so I have a backup copy of everything here. Let's put this in a new folder called JS MIDI or Dorico version 104. Okay. All right. And what we're going to do is, first off, we're going to paste everything from 67 over. So what I gotta do is find 67 over here. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is because generally if you import MIDI data, it also imports the tempo track, and we don't want that. We just want the notes. So then from 2 or 67, I'm going to cut this like so. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do that. And we're going to go here and paste it. Okay, and then next is we're going to find the gap that I deleted. I know this is kind of hectic, but before I said in the brass, let's find the brass. Oh, it's a whole section from 51 and over. I deleted so that I can recopy and paste. So what I need to do is just make sure that I remember which is which. So trumpets is easy, but I have 2 French horn parts, and I think they should be top and bottom like this. Let's see. Yeah, so sonori horns is the French horn 1, and then Jaeger horns is French horn 2. That's how I have that set. Okay, so then let's go ahead and find that. So this is 51. So basically I set this to bar 0 from 200, so I can just find bars 251 like so, and go to 66 this time like so. Let's go ahead, might as well cut that, and let's just find those horn parts, trumpet parts, and so on like that. And now I'm going to copy and paste that over to here like that. Okay, you guys still with me? Hope so. So we got that here, we got trumpets here, and we got the trombones here. Okay. All right. Now that we have that, next thing is to do the same thing over for these bigger sections. So I have horns 1, horn 2, and then I have trumpet here, and I have trombone here. And I'm trying to make this as simple as possible in terms of one MIDI track for one instrument. Sometimes I might double and things as we go, but just trying to keep it as simple as possible. So then we have flute, we have oboe, and so on. So you got your English horn, I have that down here, clarinets. Okay, and I think there's some split clarinet stuff that's over here, and I'm not sure if I'll split that further, but we'll keep that there for now. I think we could do this one for the bassoon. Timpani. All right, let's go down here. Same thing. And I did this in the last episode. It took a bit because I made some errors because these tracks were not in musical mode, so I had to redo it midway as I was going through, and I realized what was happening. I was like, uh-oh. So there's always something to learn as you're doing this. It's partly why I do this and take some time to do that, to practice. Okay, cool. So that'll be a suspended roll. I just want to make sure that this plays correctly. So, that's interesting. I might be a measure off here, so because that roll shouldn't be there. Yeah, I feel like maybe I need to bring all this down 1 bar, so let's just cut that. Okay, let's see how that sounds. Nope, that sounds a little off. Let's see. Oh, I did 2 bars, so 1 bar like that. Let's see. Okay, so there's something funky here. Um, I'm gonna move this over like that instead. There's a weird note that's just kind of hanging out there. Okay, I think we fixed it. So what did I do? I'm gonna go here. Okay, undo that. All right, so I gotta chop this section because somehow they're not aligning measure by measure. But I think I fixed that. So let's do that over here. Move that over. So let's do the same thing up here. Chop that. Let's move that over here. Okay, I think we're aligned back again. Let's go to Vista. And I think I know why that's happening. It's because I have different meter changes beforehand, and that's kind of screwing this all up probably. Glockenspiel is next. Let's put that here. Okay, we got piano. Aha. Piano. We got harp. And I'm not sure why there's a harp. It's probably just a little residue from the glissando, so I'm just going to delete that. Let's find violin 1. And I think violin 1 would be the, let's see here. Let's just double check something. For most part, let's just put this down here like that. But I think I might have to change this up to the east-west stuff here for these short notes. But I think everything else, and maybe towards the end we'll like double them or layer them up, but I think that'll do. Let's do the same idea down here. So we have cellos doing that, but let's just figure out if I probably don't need to do the double bass, but for the cello part, I might have to do something similar where I double or just move them to a different patch like that. Okay. Yeah, I think we got it. So let's go ahead and do a test run. It's not going to sound perfect because of the articulations are not set correctly. Okay, cool. Okay, and that's the idea there. We'll have to balance all of this out, as you can hear. Let's go and minimize that, mute it. Okay, and let's go back up to the top of this screen. Okay. All right, so we're basically remerged back. Oops, excuse me. We're remerged back together, and I have all my tempo stuff intact, ready to go. This is exciting, guys, because we're kind of at the home stretch here. I don't know if we have enough time to finish this today, and that's okay. I might spend another session to kind of mix or finalize first and then mix and master the track in real time so you guys can see the process for that as well. I hope you're liking what you're watching, by the way. For those who are coming in and watching, feel free to say hi. If you have any questions, the whole purpose of these live streams is to kind of have that in place so that if you do have something that you just saw, you can address it and I can answer those questions. All right, so moving back to where we were doing trumpets, horns, and brass at bars 53, it looks like. Okay. Now, I realize that I might have made a mistake here because when I was doing this, it looks like it's a bar off over here. So what I need to do is recopy that over real quick. And then we can start. Okay, so that's where it should be. Boom. Let's copy that back in. Okay, so French horn, trumpet, trombone. Let's go right into that over to the beginning of that part, which is here. Aha. That's more or less where we want to be. Okay, and looks like it's just a beat off like that. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So this is where we left off before merging all the MIDI. So going back to this idea of the brass, let's just solo the brass again. Let's go here. And we're going to have to do some cleanup. So there's some key switches that Dorico inputs. So I'm just going to delete all that because I have my own expression maps up here. Okay, then I have active part set. Okay, so we're going to start with, why not the trombone? We'll start bottom up. I like these variations. I'm not sure if it's needed, to be honest. So I'm just going to do that. And maybe here, rather than variations in the that CC1, let's do it in the velocity like that. Okay, that might help. Next is to make sure that we have our CC7s in there already if it's not. So I'm going to glue that, make sure all that's in there. Great. So all CC7 data is in there. And let's delete these guys as we go. Great. All right. So going back to trombone. Trombones are set. Let's see. It's kind of loud. Let's add that as well, the tuba. Great. Trombone sounds like it's set. Let's also make sure on that trombone that our CC or expression map is set. So the articulation should be a staccato. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this is horn 2. Is that horn 2? Let's see. That seems like horn 1 actually. Sonore. Interesting. So I might have mixed these two up. Because let me just double check here. Sonore horns are horn 1. Okay. So that means I flip these. Okay, so let's do this. Let's move this over here, move this over here, and do that. Okay, great. And let's rename these. So when you highlight them and you look over here on the top left, you can see that the name changed. Okay. What am I doing? So we're gonna do horn 2. Horn 2 should be staccato. And let's go ahead and glue these back in so that I can see what CC data we're working with. Okay, this is sonore, so let's change that to staccato. Okay, I feel like that's a bit loud, so let's change that. Okay. Oops. Sorry, I'm just messing around with it. Let's try again. I think that's more or less where it should be. Bum 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 bum. I'm gonna try marcato for a second. Nah. Staccato. So in that case, I wonder if changing the length will change the sound. Not really, huh? Interesting. So I think that would help. Let's just change all of these articulations to that, like or the length of it, I should say. And then volume-wise, this will be double with trumpet anyways, so I just I'm thinking it's a little quiet, but let's see if that helps. Okay, so then if that's not changing much, let's go ahead and just change it in the velocities. Okay, all right. So now let's do the same with this. Okay, too much. Let's just do the CC11. Okay, and I'm surprised this is just staccato. Oh, let's do staccatissimo. Okay, this has more bite to it than this one. So we really need to bring that up. Okay, better. All right, so let's hear the brass again. All right, cool. Let's hear the horns by itself. So horns are sounding okay. Maybe it's the trombone I'm hearing. Trombone's a bit loud, so let's bring that down. Okay. Last thing is the trumpets. So the trumpets, let's change that accordingly. So we have probably staccato here in this case. This is from Sonori, I believe. Yeah, Sonori trumpets, Cinesamples. Bring up the CC11. Okay, and honestly, that's kind of low. I'm not sure if that is correct now that I think about it, but I mean, it probably can go up. Yeah, something like that. Let's hear it in context. I think it's a G7 chord there, or G minor 7 on bars 53. Okay, so that is missing a note. And what chord are we? This is in measure 64. 66, 65, 64. So this is an A minor chord. And this is like a suspended chord. Let's double check the notes here at 64 with the brass. Also, let's do this. Okay. This is just tidying up everything. On this part, we have an A minor chord on 64. So that sounds a bit loud. I'm varying some of the velocities, by the way. Yeah, and I didn't really do that with these other ones, and it might not even be necessary, but since I did that and I forgot to do on the other ones, it might be good to be consistent and just add these variations on the velocities and see if that makes it sound any better. However, I'm thinking this could be like an A7. So what if I go into E, do that? That sounds already better. Cool. All right. This part here is a bit slow, even though I like the drama part of it. Let's kind of scale that up a bit. Yeah, that sounds more realistic. Okay, cool. Now that we got the brass done, let's just listen to what the woodwinds are doing here. So this is measures, what, 50, 51? Okay. So what I'm going to do is, first off, we'll quantize these guys. So, oops. All right, so we're going to quantize all of that, and then also quantize these guys. Okay, like that. So the next step is to set the articulations. None of these are set, so let's go ahead and actually go back to that. Okay, and let's look at the score together over here. You know what? I wonder if I can just put the score on a new window like that. Okay. Okay, so that I'm not in the different workspaces. I might as well just here too on this one. I'm gonna delete all these workspaces. I don't know if you guys use workspaces. I don't, and I don't know why it's here. Can I delete that? I don't know. That might be dangerous. So let's just keep that there. This is 51. 51. Okay, here we go. So looking at this, they're slurred, they're nice and connected. Da 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 da. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1. Right. Da 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 da. Okay. Anyways, that's the idea. So these can be part of legato instead of staccato, and then from here on measures, I think 65 and 66. These two should be more or less staccato all the way down. So that's just the only thing to think about when you're moving this over. So let's change that, and I'm in the wrong spot. Okay, Woodwinds. By the way, if you guys would like a copy of the transcription I made on the PDF file for A Walk in the Skies, I am planning to release that somewhere, most likely on my newsletter. So if you're not connected to my newsletter, please do subscribe. It's in the descriptions. Okay. Here. Let's click on one of these. All right, so these are your clarinets. Let's just move this to who? I guess I don't really have a legato patch for that one. I'm tempted to move that over so that they are more connected, and do that for this one. Okay, let's hear how it sounds. Okay. Set it to legato. Okay, and let's set these guys up real quick. Like that, like that. Okay, let's see how that sounds. I don't know why it's playing soft. Let's record it in. Really? It might be the velocities. Let's bring the velocities up and see. Whoa, that is trippy. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that's not reading, because it should. Sometimes things corrupt. I don't know. This is really weird. So I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna go duplicate. Do I have any automation set? I have no clue why it's doing that. That is strange. Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. Okay, I do have to duplicate these if I want this to behave a certain way. So I know why. It's because I have two voicings happening at the same time. Copy. Actually, do this instead. And do that. Aha, I figured it out. Okay, so let's do that also for this next half. But as we do this, maybe bring that down a bit in the velocity. Let's overlap. Great. Okay, now let's shape this. Let's see here. Did I delete anything? No, I didn't. Okay. Sorry, I was doing some shortcut keys and I was double checking if I did something funky there. Okay. All right, great. Let's do this second half. So then the second half we have some more harmonies, and to make things easier to read, let's just color code that. Okay. So go like this, go like this, like this. Okay, and these are just some harmonies that I set up in Dorico. Whether they're 100% right or not, I have something there that I'm happy about. Okay, so let's cut that. And let's bring that down into here. Okay, so this is where it's tricky. Legato is nice, but at the same time, it would be nice to put some staccatos in as well. And maybe just changing it to like something like this where it says strong would help. Okay. Okay. Strong is kind of cool, but it might be a little wonky soundy, so let's try medium instead and see if that does anything. Okay, that sounds a little better. Maybe we can bring down the velocity a bit. Okay, all right, and then from here, looking at the score, we go da 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 da. This is measure 65. Right here, let's change all of these actually to staccato. I forgot about that. Okay, that's nice. Maybe bring the velocity down. Okay, let's try that. Okay, let's also bring up the velocity here. Or CC data, I mean. Okay. All right, and this sounds a little bit behind the beat, so how should I do this? Okay, and this is just clarinet. I haven't done the flute or oboe just yet, so I might bring this over just a little bit so the timing works better here. And let's make sure that any overlaps for the same notes are not there. Okay. Let's bring that down just a bit. Cool. Maybe we can bring that in. Okay. Okay, we got clarinet done. let's do the next part now. The next part would be oboe, and I'm not sure what about the bassoon there. Let's see. What do I have in bassoon? I don't have anything. Oh, I see. There is something I didn't do last time. So in the bassoon, let's delete that. There is a doubling that I just added for this. So let's just double the cello here and put that into the bassoon like so. That looks better. And let's glue that. So for the bassoon, this is just touching the bassoon quickly. Okay. Let's try marcato. It's better. And let's make this, what is that, an eighth note? Looks like an eighth note. Okay, cool. Nice, okay. On top of that, sometimes when I press play, it sounds kind of wonky, so what I'll do is I'm going to render this in place like so. Because this is like a phrase-based trigger, and it's always annoying when you're playing it midway because it throws you off. So we're gonna move this over here, okay, just like that. And I could probably mute all these guys as well. And we'll put this into an archive. There is one more glissando that happens somewhere in the second half, but what I'll do, I might come back to it or just do it in a different patch. Okay. All right. Next is we got the bassoon down, we got the clarinets down. Let's do the oboe, and let's do that in conjunction with the flutes because they're probably harmonizing at some point right here. Okay, so with the flutes, let's do velocity and again, this is where it gets tricky. This is why I have two of these patches from the Claire Woodwinds. One is for articulations, like legatos, like this one, and the other one's that's just more general. But I think we'll do the lyrical legatos instead. And I think we could do that for everything up to here. Let's move that to, let's say, medium 2. Same thing here. Let's move that to, oops. This is oboe. Let's move that to medium 2. Okay, and then the other ones would be the staccato and staccato. Okay, let's hear that first. Okay, we probably have to bring up the volume. Another thing to do is just solo and see if we need to push the notes in front of the beat. But let's do it with the click track. Okay, let's try again. Okay, another thing I need to do is quantize these. So make sure that they overlap like that. There's one note here that overlaps with the same note, and whenever that happens, it's kind of a nightmare. So what I mean is you just have to delete that. Another thing that's weird is the oboe has two notes happening here, and I mean, it's not bad. It's just there's a divisi happening here that I think I put down, but I'm just gonna keep it simple. Just do one oboe part like so. Oops. Like that. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, so this is sounding a little funky to me. Let's try the legato. Okay, it sounds a little bit behind the beat, as you can hear, so let's do this. Let's go to all the notes that they have from that measure, and let's push it in front. Okay, sounds better. Now, what I'll do is delete all these guys. Try again. Like that. Okay. All right. And let's tidy this up. Get out of this guy. Here we go. All right, and on this part, we could either change it to like a marcato and see if that makes it sound better. Also, let's bring this down. Let's also extend that out slightly to the end of the beat. Let's delete any of these weird key switches. Okay. And all of these can be quantized over. Okay, great. I think that sounds better. Cool. Now, if you're not sure about anything in terms of the mock-up, like let's say you're like, oh, maybe there's a piccolo. In my case, I'm thinking maybe there's a piccolo. Let's listen back and listen to the original mix. Right here. Sorry. I'm gonna bring this down volume-wise. Okay. So there is a higher flute sound I'm hearing in the piccolos, so and it's just playing an octave higher. So let's do that. Let's bring that over. And let's set the sounds. Legato should work. Let's see. I don't think it's just, it needs to be turned on, sounds like. So let's try turning that on. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, that's just my trigger for my Vienna Ensemble Pro. See if that turns on now. Cool. All right, so then let's adjust the volume. Okay, it could go a little bit louder, huh? So let's try deleting and redoing here. Okay. Now, depending on what you're trying to achieve, sometimes these aren't the best. So even though it's legato, it might be better just to do staccatos. Let's try. Okay, let's bring up the volume or velocity. Okay. I also put some glockenspiel notes that I'm not sure if is right now. Okay, I'm not sure if I put that in or if the transcriber before me that I improved on added that in. So let's go ahead and mute that because I don't think that's right. Um, let's see. Yeah, I think all of this really doesn't need to be there. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, because I'm not hearing it. Cool. All right. So then, yeah, that piccolo is still kind of quiet. But then I don't want it to be too loud, but let's bring it up. All right, if it's not loud enough, let's see where's that. So this one, let's bring it up here and the outputs. And let's do that again. Okay, and that's where it really comes through, huh? So, and also, it wouldn't hurt to put like a compressor on here. Let's put a compressor. Okay, something like that, just to help those really high notes, because it's hard to control velocity or volume on piccolo anyways. Like that's like a dog whistle, right? I mean, it you don't want to do too much either, because it kind of gets in the way of the naturalism. Okay, so basically we're gonna just do what we did on the second half from 67 to about here. And honestly, once you get that part down, it's just another tweaking towards the end, which I might not have time for, but it's something to look forward to next week. All right, so now that we have that part down, we just have to do the same stuff we've done. And now I'm going to go in the opposite order. I'm going to go flute, all the woodwinds, basically, all this stuff in the legatos, and connect these before it like that, so I have like a frame of reference for all of this. Oops. Hello, shortcut keys. There we go. I'm gonna move that here. That's what I wanted. Okay, so first thing is let's just divide the clarinets up again, like so. How to do this? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's get rid of all these guys here, like that, and quick shortcut key like that. There's another harmony part, I believe. Let's see. Oh, I see. So what am I going to do? I'm going to actually change some notes here. Oh, maybe they're all doing it. Interesting. Okay, never mind. I'll keep that the same as is. Okay, so now let's go to the flutes up here. First thing would be make sure if there's any legatos that are being doubled. As you can see here, we'll have to figure out if we should separate them up. right? So this nice little run. I think I might have to double that for that little spot. And the easiest way to do that would be to do it up here. Even though it's not a legato patch per se, if I were to do that and delete, do that, okay. Kind of, we'll figure it out, but basically here we just want some kind of sound that sounds like a legato. There we go. Okay, so we got that. And because this is lower, I'm going to put it beneath it. Next, let's do this. Let's set the articulation to, let's say, marcato as well. That sounds nice. Okay, so then let's delete this. Great. So now what we'll do is we're going to record that in. Let's try again. Oops. Okay. We'll also double this with the piccolo so it sounds even stronger. And I should probably put that up here. It's easier to see. Oh, I see. I'm going to have to do this entire thing, huh? So, like so, like so. Hey, Lazy Pixel, Samuel Sheridan. Hello, hello. Welcome on board. So, yeah, if you guys are watching, I'm just plugging along here with these notes. One thing I also need to do is change out these articulations. Let's do staccato for this one. Let's do marcato for this one. Okay, let's try that again from here. Oh, also, another thing I've noticed is I need to push these over just a tad. Let's try again. And you know what? I'm gonna just mute these guys because they're a little wonky sounding. I haven't programmed them in just yet. Okay, cool. Now another thing that you can do to make it louder is just change the velocity behind it like that. Cool. So this can go louder, this can go softer. Okay, great. Let's put that back in. All right, next is the oboe. So we're gonna just put it in layers like this so you can hear it in context. Awesome, Lazy Pixel. It's good to see you. Cheers. Okay, so let's go to 67. Delete these guys. This is oboe. And let's see what we have here. Let's change all these notes again to even this one to I had it set to medium 2. But now I'm thinking maybe I should go back and change these to marcato, all of them. But let's hear it again. I almost sounds like all of this should be in marcato now. That's a tricky one. Let's try legato. Nope. Let's try staccato. Nope. Let's try strong. And medium. Yeah, there's like a weird delay happening there. What if I varied that like so? That sounds better. Okay, so let's do that, and then we'll do it here as well. So these are all marcato. I'm going to push that in front of the beat just slightly, do a variation. Okay. All right, and let's just do a wheel thing too with the phrasing. Okay, cool. So that's the idea more or less. On this really fast part, I'm wondering if there's a better articulation. Let's try staccato. Yeah. So let's bring that down slightly, compress that 50%. Okay, great. All right. Moving on, we have some clarinets happening. And again, I have clarinets doing like a medium articulation. So I might also want to change that over here. I feel like, let's see, let's just hear it one more time. I feel like maybe we can get away with the marcato thing instead. Ooh. Never mind. I take it back. That other one sounds better. Okay. All right. So, yeah, every instrument's a little different in the way they behave, it looks like. So let's do that. Let's make the length a little bit so this works. Okay, great. Yeah, let's just keep that going for that one then. And then let's vary the legato a little bit, or the velocity, I should say. Here, let's do medium. Although here, I might want to change that to staccato. Okay, let's vary the dynamics and then when you go up, let's bring, yeah, something like that. So it pops just a bit. I'm not sure how much, but something like that. Okay, let's go to the other clarinet. The clarinet 2 is doing the same exact stuff. Actually, this already, let's do this instead. So I'm not touching both of the instruments, just this one. Okay, so this one's needs to be quieter. All right, all of this right here can be medium, like so. Okay, and I think we're good. One little thing I just caught. I like adding a little variance there. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on the situation. Now let's do the velocities, or faders, I should say. Okay, it's nice. The clarinets are kind of loud. So, and I have a feeling it's just loud in general, starting from that little spot here. So I'm bringing all of that down as well. That might be a little too much now. Just one or two down. Okay. So let's do that over here. Okay. All right. I think that's okay. I think I can do a better job here, though. Let's re-record there. Okay, and then as I'm doing this, I hear some really funky tempo stuff. And that's just because I try to keep it as realistic as possible. There's some really big jumps though, so I'm gonna scale that a bit so it's not sounding too weird there. Honestly, I could just go like this. Okay, great. And then also um, it's not just a tempo track. It's actually these strings here. These strings are not touched whatsoever after a certain point. So like here, all of that needs to be pushed over as well. That's partly why it sounds like it's dragging there. But let's just keep focusing on what we have in the woodwinds before we go to the strings. So here we have, let's go delete that, and let's put that in here. Okay, and this is just doing a bass line. The only thing I'll need to do here is change these over to this shorter sounding, and these are marcados, so let's just change the expression map. Okay, here though, this is really important. This is the only part that goes really low on this run, so let me play that. Right, so we need that part, and it sounds great actually, just as is with the velocities and stuff. So I don't know if I'll change anything. We'll just kind of keep that as is, make it nice and simple, boring, but effective. Okay, next is this one, English horn. The English horn is just doubling. I don't know if there's a English horn playing in the recording, but I thought it kind of sounds nice to have that player. Even if that player is switching between oboe and English horn in like a concert setting, maybe we can just add that in. So that was my, I think, guess process here. Let's put this to a staccato. All right, and let's just hear how that sounds. Okay. All right, and there we go. Okay, so the woodwinds are complete, more or less. We could always go back and tweak, but I think we're pretty much there. Okay, now let's go to the next part, which would be the strings, and just finishing up the brass as well. Which part should I do first? I think the strings are really necessary to change now, so let's put all of this together like so. Okay, notice that the cello is, I have as a bass line here, and then it switches to a melody. Okay, and it looks like I'm missing notes, so let's go ahead and maybe copy some of those over. Okay, this is a cello. Let's delete that. Okay. All right. So now let's listen for the timing for the strings here. This is mostly Vista for the melody part. It sounds wonderful. One of the best sampled string libraries out there, and it's not, I mean, it does have some really cool programming, but it doesn't have a lot of those different articulations that you would, let's say, the East-West. But for what it is, it blows it out of the water, I believe. So anyways, first off, let's go and clean up all of this. There's probably a faster way to do that, but I'm just going to do it manually like this. Okay, so now that we look through this, we can shape and also look at the timing. Okay, so it starts to slow down here, and that's the reason why, of course, is all of these notes starting here and on out aren't being pushed ahead of the beat like I did in the beginning. So let's just quickly do that. Now here's a trick. Actually, before I do that, I would quantize everything first, and then the start of your notes that are for the start of a phrase, you'll want it to start in the beginning. And it's hard to explain um, quickly, but basically the start of the notes aren't the problem. It's the legato transition between the note is the problem that makes it sound behind the beat a little bit. So that's why you just want to quantize first, find the phrases. So like this one, I wouldn't change, but all these other ones here, I would just move over like that. And let's press solo. See how it sounds with the click track. It's still a little bit, I'm not sure if that was behind or in front this time. And also it helps to bring up the velocity for that first note. Okay. And honestly, the start of the first note is also kind of behind the beat. So there's two ways to tackle this, to be honest. It might be better to go in here, and I generally do this anyways, and I should probably put it in my template, but I'm just gonna go -50 on all of these, and I might have to change the first part of that phrasing, but let's hear it from the beginning. Okay, great. So now it sounds better. Here, it's still rushing. Okay. All right, let's press play and see how that sounds. Okay, sounds good. Sorry, I'm just making sure all these guys aren't overlapping and causing some weird problems. Okay, so that phrase is good. I'm just gonna sort of spot check all of these. Yeah, so that's the end of that phrase. Let's go here and push that F in front a little bit. Cool. All right, let's do this now. Let's move the phrasing of these over. And, oh, oops, before I do that, let's quantize all of these to the 8th notes. Okay. You see how that goes? I'm quantizing the start and ends of all the notes here. Okay, and then go here. And this is really overkill, to be honest. if you're just mocking this up to show someone, you know, quickly before you like get it recorded or something, you know, with a real orchestra, you don't have to do this. But if you're trying to, you know, get it as real sounding as possible, these are the little things that help to make it sound better. Okay. Anyways, let's go back here, solo this. Okay. Now here, I might want to do something where I re-attack and make it louder. Another thing you could do is pedal it. Okay, and what I mean by that is I just put a sustain pedal here, or did I not? Let's try that. Oh, you know what? I have to do it in here. So let's go like this. And I might have put it in on some other ones. Let's see, sustain. Okay, so this one I did. Let's do it in one take though. Sustain. And let's see if that makes a difference. Generally it does. Sustain. Okay. All right. So let's do it in one take. Okay. And what that does then is you can see here I put a sustain on these notes. Ooh, slightly early though. So, or when I say early, I meant late. So let's move these over. Okay. Okay. Now I forgot to mention, when you quantize, also just know these all have legatos on them. So I have to also engage these notes with a what I'm trying to say, the extending out these notes. So might as well just highlight all of them like so. Okay, and then we're going to extend the length so that it activates the legato. And I believe I turned them on for every one of them, including cello. Let's double check here. Let's look at cello. Okay, cello's legatos are on. Great. So the only thing about that thing I just did, that little lengthening of the notes, is sometimes it messes up with the notes that overlap with the same note. So do that for all your notes. Okay, so this sounds a little wonky to me, and that's slightly because of the way the programming for legato notes are. So same idea. Let's just do the sustain pedal. Oops, like that. All right, now it sounds way better. These are subtle things, but I don't know if you heard that. I put a pedal on these two notes, and now you don't really hear the separation as much. Okay, all right, moving on. Let's do solo again. Okay, so this sounds a little off. Maybe let's wait a little bit towards the end of that. Okay, and velocity wise, it's kind of loud. Has to be shorter, so let's do that. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure why it's going down. It's really loud, so because there's a should legato right there. That is weird. Let's put the velocity down. There might be a doubled note or something. Nope. Nope. That is strange. I'm not sure why it's behaving that way. The only way to change that is probably through your mod wheel and stuff. So I'll do that there. Okay. All right. So now let's do this mod wheel stuff, and I'll have to remember that. And you know, to save time, I try to be efficient and figure out ways to do this. The Vista libraries behave a similar way with all my CC1, CC11, so I'm just going to do in one pass like this. Here we go. Might be dangerous, but let's see how it sounds. And let me double check. Ooh, I'm on tippy top on all of these here. All right, cool. The only one I'm going to change right away before I record is this one. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. There you go. Okay, let me check a note here. 76. Well, so that you can see what I'm seeing. Let's go to the score here. And this is a score I transcribed myself with the help of someone on MuseScore that started it, and then I kind of revised and finished it. 73, 74, 75, 76. Da 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 da. You know what? I have a feeling it's not doing that phrase-wise in the actual recording. Let's hear the recording. I think it's going da da. It's a little longer. And what am I trying to do? Let's go down all the way. Okay, here's the recording. Yeah, so it's longer. It's going da 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 da. So that's a mistake in the score. Let's make that longer. Okay, now I have to figure out why it's so loud. Okay. It could just be the note. That is interesting. It could also just be the modulation as I did before. It sounded way better when I changed that, but that is so weird. Okay, so anyways, what I'm trying to do is make sure the phrasing's correct. Okay, that's better. Let's do the re-recording of the mod wheel one more time. And I'll just have to remember that moment to dip it down. Start around 65. Start again. I think I can do a better job. Okay, cool. More or less, that's where it should be at. There's still that da-na where it just like gets super loud on the attack. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Let's check. So looking at all my CC data, these are okay for the most part. But yeah, when you go to that note, it's, I think, what measure? 75. There's like a weird attack I'm hearing, and I'm not sure if it's coming from the strings or like some other notes. No, it's definitely the strings. Okay, so we're gonna have to fix that. This could just be a weird quirk in the library. Okay. And then also let's check any other notes that might be hidden or something. Nope. Okay. Let's see. Is it too long? Yeah, it sounds okay. Let's see. Maybe I'll just have to massage these. So D, something like that. Ooh-wee, that is weird. Let's go one by one. Like this. Okay, so it's not that. What am I hearing it in? Oh, interesting. Okay, so because these are overlapping, that's probably what's causing the issue. Okay, let's do a little pedal. Cool. So now you see that pedal makes it legato. Ah, that was it. I think that was the issue. Okay, let's go back and see if there are any other doubling. Nope. Okay, I think we solved the problem. Ah, that was so weird. Cool. You know, I kind of like the idea here to detach that. Yeah, even a little more. Just give it some breath there. Hey, GM, greetings. Okay, now timing wise, there could be some tweaks there. Let's try tweaking that real quick. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably not the strings now as much as it is some of this stuff here. Yeah, because I already tweaked this. So, I might break my tempo track here idea, but what if I just deleted all that and see how it sounds? Okay, cool. That'll give me a better gauge of how this is all working out. And then right here, da-na-na-na-na, right here, da-na-na, this should probably go da-na, ahead of me. Cool. All right, now that I figured out this, I think I dipped this down just slightly too much. Anyways, these are just nitpicky stuff. All right, so now that we got the strings intact, let's save. Let's look at the bass. So we have here to here. All of these should be staccato. Okay, so from here, let's change that to this. Or this. Okay, and then let's delete all these guys. We don't need that. We could probably bring up the bass slightly like that. Cool. Let's look at the cello. All of this. Okay, so we're gonna have to put some articulations beforehand. Let's do spiccato here. And maybe on this one, I did detache on the bass. Interesting. Okay. All right, let's look at the piano now. So, to vary this slightly, and articulation wise, or when I say articulation, I'm coming from the classical world, so generally that means the note length, but in Cubase lingo, that can mean the expression map. What I mean here though is the length type is good. I mean, we could quantize, right? Just make sure they're not overlapping. Next thing is I'm going to vary this slightly, just all of it. Okay, it could be dangerous to do that, but let's see how that sounds. Okay, yeah, you don't want the piano to sound so present. It should be in the background. Okay, but there is one thing that's funky about this, and that is the way, well, there's some other things that's funky about this, but first thing is the bass line is too long, besides this one. So all of these over here, let's just make it a fixed length like that, and let's solo. Okay, so boom. I don't know why it's doing that twice. Oh, I see. That's weird. Let's just delete that. Fixed length this. Let's see. Interesting. Look at that. That's weird too. Let's just delete that. Okay, let's fix length that. And these are overlapping, so it's kind of weird if you're a player and looking at this to play it like this. Okay. All right, that looks better. So let's press play from that little section. Measure 50. Okay, sounds better. You could probably put a little pedal on all these, probably sound better. Let's try again. Okay. All right. Next, timpani. Well, I think I did this from last time. It would be the second half, huh? Okay, so the second half as well, I need to do this real quick, is do what I just did on the piano beforehand. So let's kind of copy these guys, fix length them. Let's do a quarter note. Let's delete these guys. Delete, well, not delete that, but shorten that, lengthen that. Okay, I hope this all makes sense for those who are watching right now what I'm doing. And feel free, if you see anything weird or you're just not sure, just feel free to answer or ask any questions. We have this. Hey, Heartbreak Time Machine. Thank you. You're really liking how I'm laying out the track. Awesome. Yeah, I hope, you know, when you guys watching, the whole point of this for me selfishly is to just challenge myself to see how well I do on these kind of things. I've done enough of these to be like, okay, I think I can do this. But the other part is to showcase it and then see if you guys can learn something out of it. I also learn a lot from you guys that are watching. Every now and then I get a comment that'll be like, oh, you should do it this way. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Anyways, okay, so let's go to the piano. This might be actually easier, is just to copy that over as is. And then just move them. Oops. Oh, that doesn't work, huh? Here, I'll do that again. So copy that, put it somewhere here in the beginning. Let's go slightly ahead of the beat like that. I like that. And then we'll move it over. Okay. Let's hear how that sounds. Okay, great. And then there's a note that goes, and we gotta bring that up. Okay, and we'll do that on the next session here. I'm running a little behind. I was hoping to finish this at 12, but we're just gonna wrap this little section up with the percussion now. I have a note from Heartbreak Time Machine. Can you remind me the key command that quantizes the length of the MIDI notes? Yeah, so the lengthening, if I go here, I have it set to my own key command, but the name of it is this one, increase length plus 10 ticks. I think this is from a factory logical editor preset. So yeah, find that one, and it's just the increase length, 10 ticks, and then the opposite is negative 10 clicks, and you can just put that to a key command. Okay, so let's look at percussion. We're looking at measures 67 through wherever that bar is, 84. Aha, so what we need to do here is the same idea. So actually, the better way to do this is glue these guys together. That way, when you open them up, you can kind of see what's happening previously. Okay, so here we have whole notes for the timpani. So let's do it one by one. Go here. Right, whole notes, go like that. Okay, next is just making sure that velocities are somewhat in that vicinity. So, and it honestly could be a little louder since the other strings come in. So I could maybe, oh, interesting. I have some weird 48. Well, program change 48. I don't know what that is. Let's delete that. Okay, so let's move up the expression at 67. So it's kind of do that slightly up. See if that makes a difference. Okay, next is bass drum. Okay, let's put. We're missing a note there. Let's go ahead. Same idea. Quantize those. Let's look at our velocities. Let's bring that up slightly. Okay, next. Oh, actually, you know what? There are no CC1 or 2, I mean CC11 or 1, so let's move that in. Oh, you know what? I apologize. I'm looking at the wrong one, so let's look at bass drum again. Aha, that's what I wanted. So let's go over here. Okay, let's set it around 80. Okay, like that. Next, we have CC7 data only for this snare drum here, so that's good. I think I can just copy most of this over, so let's just delete that. And let's bring this guy, along with its rules over here, like that. Okay, let's delete this. And then this part is doing that. Oop. Okay. All right. Next is crash cymbal. So we have probably a roll here. Yeah, I already have that in there. Let's listen. Okay, let's hear that in context with everything else. Yeah, no problem, Heartbreak Time Machine. Yeah, happy to help. Okay, some stuck note there. Now, I don't know what this is. Okay, so this needs to be louder. Probably this one. This needs to be louder. Okay, and then there's a weird roll thing happening here, so let's see. Oh, okay. So down here, these should be brought up. Like that. Okay, I think we got it. Oops. I soloed on accident. I think these need to be brought up, and I think it's like that. So actually all of these need to be brought up. But then what about these? Interesting. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's bring up the volume a little bit on that. I think we're set. So what I'm going to do now is play it from the top and call it good for today. For those who are watching, thank you for your support and anything that helps me get more visibility, like pressing that like button, or let me press that button for you, boom, or just subscribing if you haven't already, or just even sharing it, even better, sharing it to different forums or Discord servers that you're part of. All help just to kind of spread the word. I love to just keep doing these, and anything to just get these live streams that I'm doing every week out there to the world and more visible helps. So I appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and press play now from the top, and we'll stop it around that measure where that locator ends. And here goes nothing. So that's where we will leave off and continue back sometime next week. So stay tuned. I'll try to make announcements through my newsletters. So if you're not part of that, you can subscribe down in the descriptions. Also, anything else. Eventually, I'd like to do a before and after comparison. So what I mean by that is I'm going to press play, record a Dorico version, so like, you know, whatever's playing here from the stock Dorico sound set, and then I'm gonna compare that to how it sounds with a professional version mocked up inside a Cubase with better sample libraries. And I think that would be fun to just compare and contrast. All right, well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Oh, happy Thanksgiving to you.